Not sure if you guys can hear me. Just bear with me one moment. Waiting for the stream to kick going. Just 1 second. Okay, well, I guess I was live this whole time. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, guys, I need to check and make sure you all can see me. Can you all see me? All right. All right, excellent. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to try to... Sometimes Streamlabs just doesn't like to operate very well with me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I so appreciate it. We're going to let some folks just kind of... Good evening. Good evening. Hello, Divine Butterfly. Hello, Dee. How are you? We're just going to let a few more people just kind of come on in. And then we're going to go in and get started. Hello, S. Marie. Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you guys so much for popping in. I'm Lisa, as most of you, I hope, already know. And this is Heart of Inspiration. So here at this channel, we seek to help you lead a spirit-led, whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life. So I'm going to get a couple of just a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. If you're not already subscribed, you're watching this on the replay or just happen to catch me live now, please consider subscribing. And then when you like and comment, you'll be entered into the drawing that we're having for our subscriber giveaway of a $100 Amazon gift card. Hello, Miss Reina. I go live. I'm going to start going live more often or on a more regular basis. We'll figure that out. But really, I really wanted to bring this information to you guys tonight because it was weighing on me from this morning. And if any of you were with me last night and we were just kind of talking about how the, this last shift that we've just come through, the energies, how it's been so heavy. And, I believe that a lot of us, as I was kind of meditating and contemplating on this subject, I really strongly feel like we are through the shift, finally, that we're through it, that we have kind of closed out this latest cycle. Not saying there won't be any more during the rest of 2019, but this was a very significant move up. It was a very significant move to like a next level, whatever your next level is. And because of that, then it's like, well, what do we do with this? Now, some of us have noticed now that maybe there are some new spiritual gifts that are just kind of like popping up and starting to appear now. Some of us have just noticed a lot of what this last shift was really about moving people, ideas, things out of our lives, but primarily people in relationships out of our lives that did not need to be there. Moving people or relationships out of our lives, out of our circle that really were kind of bringing us down or were very shallow. I don't want to even say bringing us down. The time had just come, right? The time had just come for those individuals or those relationships to run their course. In the tarot, we would say the World card, right? The chapter closed. And because that chapter closed, hello, Nita, because the chapter closed, we're able to move into the next thing and move up. Hello, Triple G. Because of that. And some of us may still be going through it because we might not want to be letting things go. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is this. If there are some things that you just haven't quite let go of yet, get to letting them go. Okay? Don't go far into this next season holding on to old ideas, holding on to other relationships, if you will, people, what have you, that are really holding you down. Now, if those people are family, I will say, I'm not saying just cut them out and never speak to them again. However, what I am saying is this, is that in order for you to truly move into your life purpose, take that next step up, get those new spiritual gifts, get that new vision, or really focus in and achieve the life purpose, take the next big step towards your life purpose, you have to release the things that are no longer serving you. And that's what this last long season really has been. It's been a series of let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Right? As we let those things go, we release the karma that's associated with it. Because each of those relationships really, a lot of them probably had some rather karmic implications. Or just some lessons to be learned. Really, I look at karma as a lesson that has to be learned. Sometimes it's a thing that we did or an action we took years and years and years ago, previous lifetime, or maybe in this lifetime, that we then have to kind of clear it out. But it's really all about the lesson to be learned. Okay? And that then segues into the reason why I felt it very important to come and speak about the ancestors tonight. Because I've been noticing there's been a lot of ancestral work that's coming up, at least for me. And so because of that, I'm telling everybody else. You know, I've noticed that I've been really seeking to understand past lives. I've been seeking to understand what my own family has accomplished over generations. Other families, hello Tawanda, have accomplished over generations. Entire, shall we say, races of people, right? What we've accomplished over generations. And I was listening to a YouTube video earlier today, and it just dawned on me, it hit me. So I'm going to tell this story, right, from the perspective of those of us who are melanated and those of us African Americans. So if we really understand as a people, those of us that were brought over here on slave ships and such, and we look at things like the civil rights movement, had all of that not happened, I wouldn't be right here where I am today. Most of you wouldn't be where you are right here today. There were people that paid the price for us to be able to do the things that we do. If I want to bring it into a spiritual point of view, I only have to look at my own family and look at the women in my family, primarily on my mother's side, but someone also on my father's side as well. I come from a long line on both sides of very spiritually in tune, very successful, groundbreaking women. Men too, but I'm going to go with the women for right now. Groundbreaking. Women that moved in the spiritual realm in ways that were not really accepted, so to speak, right? They knew, they saw, they prayed, they fasted, they did all of these things, and they operated in spiritual gifts that weren't always accepted in their time. But they did that because they knew they were called to do that. And now when I go into my meditative states, now when I go deep, go high, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? What's the next step? All of a sudden I get these ancestors that come, these women that come, and they're like, this is what I did. This is what I released. Hello, Deanna. This is what I released into the lineage. These are the gifts I released into the lineage during my time on this earth. You don't have to do all that same work, my dear, because it's already been released. So tap into that energy, because I've already put it out here and I already set it in motion years and years and decades ago. Now, I have notes, so just if I'm looking down, this is why. Ancestral work can transform the karmas of past generations, as well as work into the current and future generations for healing. So a lot of my ancestors, and a lot of your ancestors, I'm going to put this out here. Right now. A lot of my ancestors and a lot of yours have done things in the past, right, that have ramifications in the present and could potentially have ramifications in the future. I'm going to put a few baseline beliefs out here, and so that we can all be talking from the same place. Hello, just thinking. If we believe that we are spirit first, we're triune beings, spirit, mind, and body, and that our spirits are eternal, they have no beginning and no end. We are, in fact, energetic beings. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. Then, wouldn't it stand to reason that perhaps our ancestors and us all worked together from the very beginning to bring us to this moment in time? That the grand plan from at some point in the beginning of time was created generations upon generations ago. And it was so that you would be born right now for such a time as this. Is that possible? And if we could agree upon that, now let's take that information and see what we can do with it. You know, in the church, we talk about things like generational curses, right? Well, I used to, at least. I would be praying for someone, or someone would come to me and say, I don't understand why I'm doing this. I don't understand why drug addiction, my mother perhaps, or my grandmother, or my aunt, and now my son is dealing with this as well, or my daughter is dealing with this as well. It's generational. Abuse. I've talked about my father and how my father's biological father was highly abusive. I've talked about how my mother's biological father was highly abusive. So that abuse line, the narcissist, the abuse line, has been handed down through generations. And I would venture to say that before then and before then and before then. Now, at some point, I will discuss something that's strictly for those of us that have come through the slave trade, but that's not the point right now. But the abuse line has the abusive spirit, if you will, the abusive karma, if you will, the abusive energy has come in through generations. My generation, me, I had an option. I could either follow along in that abuse and be abused or be an abuser, or I could decide to stop it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I decided I was going to stop it, but there were times and relationships in my life that were abusive. Some physically, some mentally and emotionally. But I had to make the decision that the buck stops here, and I was going to clear, if you will, the karma, break the generational curse so that my future generations, my children, and then my grandchildren would not suffer the same abuses. And I will say to you that stopped that. There was still a little bit that happened to my kids. Hello, Leah. A little happened to my children. But I can say right now, and today, I have cut that cord. I have cleared that karma and stopped the generational abuses from occurring. Why? Because I went back to the ancestors. Yes. And I went into the heavens. Yes. And I cleared the karma. I cleared the generational curse, if you will. Ancestral work can transform the karmas of past generations, as well as work into the current and future generations for the healing. Now, what in the world, you might say, Lisa, does this have to do with anything with manifestation and manifesting the life that we are meant to have purposefully? I'm going to submit to you this, that by clearing that abusive karma from my ancestral lineage, I've cleared now the path for love and light to flow. I've cleared a path so that what does not happen is what happened from generation upon generation prior to me, especially on my mother's side of the family. That now the abuse derailed my grandmother's life, my great-grandmother's purpose. It derailed my mother's purpose, derailed it for a long time. On my father's side, however, I had a path. My grandmother was not going to be abused. She packed up her 4 babies and left Arkansas and came up to Chicago, was like, I'm not taking this crap from you, when my father was but 2 years old. She cut it there. However, she didn't know enough to cut it spiritually, so it came through my father still. And came through, and a couple of my aunts on that side were abused as well. Now, however, she gave me a blueprint for get your behind up and move. Get your behind up and don't take it anymore. Get your behind up and say, I wish to have better. So I'm going to go get better. So her life purpose actually was fulfilled. You see what I'm saying? Her life purpose was fulfilled, as well as my aunt's life purposes were fulfilled, because she took that motion. She took that, made that decision and moved and removed herself, cut the marriage cord, cut the fatherly influence from my father and my aunts and moved. So I had a blueprint on this side, and I had we're still dealing with it on this side. So I had to take a page from her book, Grandma Betty's book. Hello, Steph. I had to take a page from Grandma Betty's book and say, no more. We're not doing this any longer. I'm cutting cords. I'm going to affect the healing in my life. So that why? By the way, Grandma Betty was a nurse. And Grandma Betty was an evangelist. I have ministers on both sides of the family. Spiritual people on both sides of the family. Converging into me. I have no choice but to fulfill the purpose of my ancestors. I have no choice but to be propelled into purpose, to fulfill what my ancestral line has dictated that I fulfill. I have no choice. And it's not in a bad way, because I chose to take up the mantle. Now, our ancestors and us, this is my belief. Our ancestors and us, we are all energetic beings. What is an ancestor? An ancestor is someone that chose to be here in human form and has now gone on and transitioned onto the spirit realm. That's all an ancestor is. And I saw Chawanda in the chat speak on that her ancestors are in her crew. They in her squad. Yes. Let me tell you something. When I am like, you know what, this person messing with me, I call on my ancestors. Okay, what we gonna do about that? When I'm not sure precisely which direction to go, I sit and now which way we gonna go with this here? Because I believe fully that our ancestors and us, at some point during our time, have all convened from time to time throughout eternity. And one of us decided to come here right now. One of us said, yep, I'm going to be the one. I'm taking that up. And the ancestor said, okay, this is the pathway we're going to pave for you. So I want you to think about your own mothers, your fathers, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers, and so on and so on and so on. Hello, Leslie. I want you to think about them. And if you don't know that much about them, then I want you to spend some time in your spiritual time, in your meditation time, and purpose to contact them. Because I guarantee you that where you are today and what you are to do in this lifetime, the way has been paved for you. It has already been ordained and destined. And we need to honor the path. And we need to honor their sacrifice. And we need to honor their infinite wisdom, because they are 50,000, 100,000 feet in the air and have known the end from the beginning. Just like we knew the end from the beginning if we've read the Bible and other holy texts. Hello, Rio. Just as we've known the end from the beginning, then we know the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end now. We just have to remember what it is. You see, our purpose is nothing but the end. Our purpose, we're spending our lifetime to remember our purpose. And along the way, we get stuck and we get things thrown at us, and we get other experiences to have along the way so that we can learn, so we can grow, so we can overcome all of these obstacles. For what reason? So that we can fulfill our purpose. That is the only reason. And I guarantee you, your purpose is not just for yourself, but it is for everyone. It is for humanity. There is something you are to do that is far and away outside of yourself. And yet you have to be somewhat selfish in order to go for it. You have to say that my purpose on this earth is more important than what you may believe my purpose is. My purpose on this earth is more important than you getting your feelings hurt every time I might not be around when you come to call it. My purpose on this earth is so much greater than one singular person or one singular event. Yet every event leads up to our purpose. So how do we tap in? How do we get in touch with our ancestors? If we remember that our ancestors took a physical body and experienced love and sorrow and joy and pain of being human, then when they transform, they then become our soul tribe. So just like we find our soul family here, much of you that are under the sound of my voice right now and are watching now or will watch later, you're part of my soul family. And as part of my soul family, there are some of you that are here, and you know who you are already, that I will reach out to from time to time, and you keep me in check. Thank you. And so there are people that are here that are guides, and then our ancestors are our guides as well. So we must look to our ancestors, and if, again, whatever you can find out about their earthly walk is going to be a key to what your earthly walk purpose is. So remember, our ancestors are simply those that have walked before us. And we were the ones that chose to be here right now in 2019 and fulfill a lot of the things that have already been set out there. And our children and grandchildren will then fulfill that thereafter. But that's part of our soul tribe. So as we find our soul family, we also need to be in touch with our soul tribe. The purpose of a tribe, right? The tribe took care of one another. The tribe provided guidance. The tribe provided support. The tribe gathered together and gathered food and water together. The tribe worshiped together. When one in the tribe got out of line a little bit, the others in the tribe came along, the elders of the tribe came along and said, I'm going to need you to come over here and sit down for a second because, you're messing up, right? Let me give you a little guidance, loving guidance. In order, though, to be in touch with them, and I hope this is making sense, because it makes perfect sense to me. I hope I'm making sense. We must open our hearts, open our third eyes, open our ears, open our crown chakras, open our throat chakras, to be willing to communicate with our ancestors. We must be willing to hear what they have to say. We must be willing to allow them to traverse the spirit realm and come into the third dimension, still as spirits, but speaking spirit to spirit and actually listening to them. I see stuff is saying that that her spirit, her ancestors come to her in dreams. Mine do all the time as well. And Nita, you know that your ancestors have owned businesses. Perfect. So you have a heritage of business ownership, of entrepreneurship. That spiritual ability to create business, to create wealth, runs strong and deep in your spiritual and your physical bloodline. Tap into that energy. Energy is neither destroyed nor created, so that energy is always there. When you open up your heart and learn to how to communicate with your ancestors, they can provide deep and transformational healing and wisdom and guidance on all levels. They are ready and waiting to help. I literally, while I'm talking about this, I literally feel my tribe around me. I literally feel my divine feminine and divine masculine ancestors all around me right now. It's there. I can feel them standing behind me because my heart is open to their communication. My heart is open to their wisdom, and they've been trying for so very long. I know I don't listen often sometimes. I can feel them. If you open up your heart, this is a beautiful moment in time. Feel them right now with you. I'll answer these questions. What if your ancestors were bad people and come to us? Can they misguide us? We'll talk about that in a minute. So Rio had a dream last night. There was a family reunion. It started with one of our departed members returning. Yes. And then at the end, everyone started disappearing until the next reunion. Exactly. You want to create this family reunion. Now, they can not only give us transformational healing, but they can also give us transformational wisdom. And they will propel us and guide us towards our life purpose. How do we do that? How do we do that? This is one of those, I'm not huge on rituals, but this is one of those ceremonial things, those ritualistic things that I believe is necessary. Now, some will say, like, I believe I gave something to Triple G, a message from your great-grandmother, was it? To set up, like, a place, an altar. Put libations out, right? Put a rose out. The Mexican traditions, right? Of putting out food and drink and candy, right? That is is that the Day of the Dead? And Raina maybe can give me a little bit of explanation on that, please. The time frame, I believe that's from the 31st until the 31st of October till the 2nd of November. So there's rich history in a lot of cultures to do this. Celtic history has it, African history, most tribes in Africa have it. There's many ritualistic things. But if you don't want to wait till October, really it is you're sitting down and you do what is called, it's a vow of the heart. You're basically declaring your purpose. So you can be in your meditative moments in time. If you do yoga, fantastic. It's called Sankalpa. Sankalpa. That's awesome. Yes, you see your grandma. That's perfect. She speaks to you. Yes, she wants to talk to you. And you purpose in your heart to reach out and communicate with the ancestors, with your ancestors of light and love. Sometimes, Triple G, if we have ancestors that have had issues in the past, I'm not going to call them bad. What I'm going to say is perhaps that we need to go and help clear that karma so it doesn't come into the fore. So let's say this bad person would steal or lie and whatnot. And you've noticed that people steal from you or they lie to you. Well, that act of all the forgiveness, that act of forgiveness and clearing that and finding out, well, what is this? And sometimes we'll get memories that we'll be like, is this mine? Is this mine from a past life? What is it? But then we need to forgive ourselves and clear it. Right? Hello, Sassy, Rare Breed. Thank you very much. November 1st is the Day of the Angels. Children who passed. November 2nd is Dia de los Muertos for the adults, the Day of the Dead. And those are the days that you put out, right? Raina, food, drink, candies. You put pictures, candles, all of that. Yes? So doing a ceremony with the intention of I'm opening up my heart, I'm opening up my energy to hear from the ancestors. Because remember, we actually sat down all together. We had a great council, and I know this so well. It's not like I can see it, but I know it. We had this great council eons and eons and eons ago when we decided we were all going to be part of this human tribe. And we decided, okay, this is the end of it. This is the goal. My lineage from both sides says we are spiritual leaders and healers. I have a lot of not only ministers or religious leaders, I also have a number of people in the medical field. I have a number of people that have served in the armed forces to set captives free or keep our country here in America free. I have all of these different movers and shakers, right? Avant-garde, people that blazed trails. That is my lineage. That is my lineage. And so all of these, we came together and we agreed that we would go through lifetime and lifetime and lifetime and lifetime. And some would get certain gifts of the spirit, and some would learn the healing arts, and some would learn other areas of science, and some would set captives free, and some would do this, and some would do that, and some would do this, and some would do that. Into the culmination of who I am today, and who my children are, and then my children's children. I've had the opportunity to go back and clear so much karma and stop things from going forward. But I had to purpose that I was going to listen. So set that purpose in your heart. And for some, it will be literally you're lighting candles and you're setting libations and you're perhaps the favorite flower. I have a grandmother on this side. My favorite flower is tulips. I have a grandmother on my father's side that just whispered in my ear, my favorite flower was tulips. Why? Because they bloom in the spring. And they're a long-lasting and sturdy flower with not a strong fragrance, if any at all. However, they come in so many different colors and so many different shades and shapes that the same tulip, when set next to another, although you know they're part of the family, they're not exactly the same. So a tulip has the ability to be all things to all people, and without being overpowering with a strong fragrance. Tulips, my favorite. Hello, Sagittarius. We have to purpose to listen, because our ancestors have indeed set in motion our life purpose currently. Not only have they set that in motion historically, but they know the end from the beginning. They know what I signed on to do. Yes. And so when I need some extra guidance, or as I'm listening and need a little more power, I need a little more, wait a minute, I need a little bit stronger sight. Let me grab it from this great grandma over here. And then let me also grab it from great grandma and great great grandma and great grandpa and great great grandpa over here, who were Celtic and Native. And I have Celtic and Native here. So let me bring it together into the culmination of something magnificent to take my position in my place of power, in my place of purpose. But you've got to reach back and get it and bring it. You've got to reach back and open up and say, I'm going to purpose in this time to reach out to you to hear what you have to say. Make that in your heart. Pay attention. So the first thing is give the purpose. Right? The purpose. Purpose in your heart. Set your intention. The next thing is set your attention. Be here right now. So when you set your purpose and your intention and your time together, in your spiritual time, to be in touch with your ancestors, then please be present in the moment. Show them some respect. Be present. Get grounded in your heart and clear in your mind. Energy flows where your attention goes. Energy flows where your attention goes. Yes. If your attention is to hearing from your ancestors, and that is your intention, that energy will flow in like a flood. Unmistakable, huge, powerful love and wisdom, which is light. It will flow. Energy flows where attention goes. And then finally, be purposeful in your ceremony. If you're lighting your candles and then you're sitting with them, be purposeful in your ceremony. Make sure you are doing what you are doing is meaningful to you. However, there's no right or wrong way to do this, but it just needs to be meaningful to you and be purposeful. Keep your attention on your inner intention. Don't let it get squirrely. And soon, I can guarantee you, it will be like second nature. When we're seeking to understand our life purpose, I think a lot of us are lost because we don't know our history. We can't know our future until we know our history. We can't know where we're going until we know where we've been. So purpose to know where your ancestors were and how you got to this place. And then you can understand your purpose and your future because you know where you've been, and they will help guide you every step of the way. They will help manifest. They will make the way straight. They will move obstacles out of your way because you're like, yes, this is what I agreed to it. And guess what? I'm going to do it. So they'll move it out of your way, or they'll show you the path around it, through it, over it, whatever. Yes? Okay. I have a question. Yes, I need to go. I would love to go back to Mexico this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But I was there during La Dia de los Muertos a few years ago. What if you can hear the whispers all the time? Is that normal? Sure. Yes, Steph. Hearing their whispers. You're very in tune right now, and they need to speak to you. So that's, yes, perfectly normal. I hear things from time to time. Sometimes more than others, especially when Daddy really wants to talk to me. But I do hear things. It's fine. Triple G says, I've been trying to reach out to my guides in meditation and get this tingling in my head. Yep, that's right. Sometimes I start rocking back and forth. I do too, honey. It's that church rock, right? Yeah, I do too. That's all normal. Let your body do what your body's going to do. Earlier, I was speaking with Raina, and I was talking about coming on. And oh boy, did I get a ring into my ear. I'm like, okay, I got you. So, if we're to manifest and utilize our I want to wrap this up. So, in a nice little neat bow tie. Do our ancestors help us today? Of course, yes, they do. They've been trying to, for goodness sakes, for forever. In order to manifest the life that they've already set before us, we have to understand the history of where we got here and how we got here and why we got here. We have to tap into that karmic We have to tap into what the lessons they've already learned and grab that energy and allow that energy to flow. So we're not repeating, right, the same mistakes and not repeating the same issues so that we can finally cut it in this lifetime. And I firmly, firmly, firmly believe that this last big shift was all about that. I mean, guys, if you really grabbed a hold of this last shift, and some of you may still be in it, man, there's been so many people that are just by the wayside now. And man, do I miss them. But I know it was no longer. And when I keep trying to hold on to somebody that I was supposed to let go during this last shift, oh gosh, it's so hard. And it's annoying. Hello, Miss Alice. It's annoying to hold on to them now. And I can hear and feel my ancestors saying, seriously, I thought we were going to get rid of this one. Yeah, I thought we were going to get rid of this one. But good Lord, no. Holy cannolis. When are you going to let it go? We have shifted up to a time, a moment of time and space, and some of us are still shifting. Let it go ahead. Don't get stuck. Don't get discouraged. Let go what you know to let go. In your time tonight, please, once we get done with this live, in your time tonight, please, take the moments, okay? Take the moment to say, what am I supposed to let go of? I'm stuck. I need to get unstuck. Be intent in your spiritual, when you're sending out your signal, like send out that SOS, 911, help ancestors. I'm stuck and I don't know how to get out of this. I'm stuck and I'm like between floors on an elevator. And that elevator needs to go up to the next level because I'm stuck. Let them help you. Let them help you. And be willing to let go of whatever it is that they are telling you need to let go of. And learn a lesson and move forward. Because this up here, this is because we had to get up to that next floor. Because now, beloveds, now is time for us to move. Now is time for us to put together our foundations. Now is time for us to put together those businesses. Now is time for us to put together those Reiki or energy healing practices. Now is the time for us to begin to teach. Now is the time for us to begin to speak and heal others. Now is the time for us to begin to move because there's more coming. There's a greater awakening that is afoot, and if we're not prepared to help them because we haven't taken our place, we are going to be very remiss and miss our opportunity to truly help humanity that wants to raise their vibrational set point. You gotta shed the old skin in order to walk in the new skin. You gotta shed the old anointing to walk in the new. You can't bring yesterday's manna into tomorrow's bread box. It's rotten. You all are all here. Light workers, light warriors, prayer warriors, whatever you want to call yourselves. You're here so that the rest that are coming out of religion, the rest that are just simply coming out of darkness, the rest that are finally awakening to the fact that there's something beyond, and they see the craziness that's happening in the world, the rest are coming and awakening, and they're searching, and we have to be ready for them. So let's have some businesses that are spiritual friendly. Let's have some teachers that are teaching meat. Like they can do some milk and then we'll get you some meat so people can actually grow. It's time out for all this rest of this, like little bit here, little bit there. Little bit here, little bit there. I mean, it was great, right? The whole law of attraction thing was fabulous. You know, think it, see it, speak it, or whatever. Believe it. See it, speak it, believe it. That's great. But what about the depth? We got to get some depth now. We can't survive off of milk. We got to get some meat. And you all are part of the meat. You all are part of the people that are bringing the real good stuff. Or the good vegetables if you're a vegan. Yeah? So that's what we're here for. And that's what I know all of you've come, right? You're here. You're listening. You know there's something more and you want to get unstuck. Your ancestors have already paved the way. Just like the civil rights leaders paved the way for us. Right? Us. Black like this, not like this, right? Whatever race you are, they've paved a way. You gotta walk on that road. Yes, they're here to help us. We gotta ask and we gotta listen. Okay, wait. Hold on. I'm going to answer a couple of questions and we're not going to be on much longer. So Steph says, yesterday I heard my brother that has passed on say something and I spoke it out to my other brother, walked in the house and said the exact thing. We all just looked at each other. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, Triple G, I wish I could hear. All I get is these little pains in my ears like it's being blocked. So Triple G, then set your attention to just understand that the pains in your ears are because you're trying to hear with your physical ear. And you still need to unblock some things in your crown and your third eye. So clear that. Really spend some meditative time clearing that. I would, if you have some chakra candles, that'd be great for your third eye and for your crown chakra. If not, listen to some meditative music that's specifically for your crown and then some specifically for your third eye and unblock it. Raina, you're always asking Grandpa for guidance. Yeah, but sometimes you feel like I'm too preoccupied. Well, that's your choice then. Don't be preoccupied. Grandpa's trying to hear you. Talk to you. Okay, Rio, you feel sometimes you just have a thought come to me and you're sure and not be sure it's received. I used to hear my mama being called all the time when I was younger. Oh, sometimes I'll have the thought that I gathered a bunch of skills in previous lifetimes, and I'm supposed to have them at my disposal to do something. You are, so now it's time to tap into them. I do have some new oracle cards, so I'm just gonna, Rio, I really feel like I need to pull one for you. I bought some Isis oracle cards. It's not a voice, it's a thought you hear with your mind. Exactly. It's like, and it's not even really with your mind. It's really weird. Like you hear it, but you don't really hear it. Like you know it, but you're not sure where. Oh my gosh. Okay, Rio, this is for you. Yeah, I'm not today in something like the eggs out of your hands. Okay, Rio. I'm going to put it up here. This is the Chariot of Ascension. Spiritual work of the higher initiate. These are Isis oracle cards. I just picked these up. Rio, do you see this? Chariot of Ascension. I'm going to read that. Okay. Merkaba. Spiritual work of the higher initiate. Rio, this is for you. Your soul wishes to travel more freely between the dimensions of higher reality. This is to allow for conscious spirit communication, the free flow of soul light into the physical body, and the joining of divine harmony of heaven and earth. It requires a powerful consciousness to do this. The Merkaba, Chariot of Ascension, and Soul Fire is the spiritual gift to attain these divine purposes now, available to you as a high initiate. There are times when the soul becomes ambitious and wishes to live its entire light in conscious oneness with all expressions of its being, including the physical body. It may wish to do so simply because it is the nature of all beings to eventually realize themselves as divine, or because it needs specific new skills to be available to the human expression in the physical body, so it can continue with its divine purpose. Those skills may be channeling divine energy or consciousness for healing, traveling easily between the worlds for conscious spirit communication, gaining greater artistic or creative ability because it feels wonderful to create, or any number of other purposes. This oracle brings you guidance that a special spiritual practice has come or is soon coming to your attention that will help your soul reach you more fully. It will be an advanced practice and will serve you well at this time of your journey to reach the higher levels of capacity and spiritual responsibility that are available to you as a high initiate. Peace to you, beloved. Your spiritual work on this planet is greatly supported. This is what I'm going to say to you, Rio. Oh, that's wonderful. Wow, this is really deep. Yes, the Oracle of the Chariot of Ascension is a high. So you understand. So study the ritual of the Merkaba, Rio. That will help you. Okay. I need to go back and answer a few more questions. Does that help you, Rio? Lisa, what is the best way to get in touch with your spirit guide? I had a spiritual advisor say, please be careful as there are false ones. How do you know the difference? I've been too afraid to push it. False spirit guides who can really mess you up. Okay. Yeah, there are false spirit guides out there. However, you will know. So when people tell you to be afraid of something or be very careful, right? I'm not saying not to be careful about it. But what I am saying is this. If you set your intention to only love and light. So whenever I'm going into these I used to, I don't do it anymore because I don't need to. Whenever I'm going into the meditative states, yeah, I purpose in my heart, my intention is to only be in contact with love and light. You will know whether or not it's love or light simply because you have, it will ring true. If your heart is seeking truth, it will just ring true, beloved. It will just ring true. And we can talk about, at some point this weekend, we'll talk about meditating with crystals around us and things of that nature. But if you're focused on whether or not they're false or not, you have a greater opportunity for like annoying little spirits to come around. But if your focus is, I'm going to talk to love and light, that's it. Then that's it. You'll know. Trust me, you'll know immediately. I feel so bad. Oh my goodness. I don't know, honey. I don't know what the PB&J. I've had that happen a few times, stuff. That's why. Oh, okay, so you guys dealt with that. Okay. Did I miss something? Oh, well, maybe you are supposed to go vegan. I haven't got that revelation yet. Hello, Maria. Oh, Miss Maria. Are you somewhere safe, Maria, first of all? That's okay, Rio. Maria, are you safe? I want to be sure you're somewhere safe, first of all. Okay, good. Yes, Alice, follow the peace. Everybody follow the peace. The peace is right here, okay? If you don't feel peace about a thing, don't do it. Maria, this is the guidance that I'm hearing for you. Sometimes we've been told to move from a place and we don't move. We don't move fast enough. You're not going to be without work for very long. I would file for unemployment immediately if you haven't already. I would also go and see if there is, sometimes there's like emergency housing, kind of like Section 8 emergency housing that you can get a hold of, Maria. Can somebody please put my, my email address. Maria, I need you to email me so that we can chat this weekend, and we'll do something to help you, okay? So guys, I want everybody to know that we're going to do a fundraiser for Maria this weekend. Okay? We're going to do a fundraiser for Maria so she has enough for her room. If anybody right now would like to donate to her, you can to either my Cash App or Maria, where are you? Are you in another country, lovey? I assumed you were here in the States. We can donate to her via PayPal or Cash App. Maria, I need you to email me heartofinspiration18@gmail.com. Can somebody please put that in my chat, please? heartofinspiration18@gmail. Thank you. Maria, I need you to email me so we can figure out how to do this. Hello, Sage. So we can figure out how to get you a fundraiser going. Okay? We don't want you to be out in the street. All right? That's okay, dear. So please do that. We'll do a fundraiser for you over this weekend. Okay, love? But I gotta know how to get it. Thank you, Twanda. My last day of the 7-day meditation challenge is tomorrow. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that it's helping. Yeah, I knew a while back I needed to do some meditation. So we'll do some ancestral spirit guide meditations probably this weekend. But I'm going to have you guys sign up for that specifically. You're welcome, Miss Maria. Please email me so I have a way to get in contact with you, okay? All right, guys, I only wanted to be on for an hour. I do have a couple of other things I have to do. So I'm going to get going. Maria, email me. Thank you guys for being here. Please share this video. I hope you found it helpful, and we will get together. We will get together very soon, okay? This weekend, and we'll do a lot of things. Okay, Maria, then please reach out to me and we'll get together like on the WhatsApp or whatever, and we'll figure that out. That's fabulous. That is fabulous, Miss Maria. Great. We'll do that for you then, okay? I have no problem sharing my platform. No problem at all. That'd be great. See, guys? It's just that simple. And Maria, you know how to read cards. Girl, you better get out here and read, honey. You better get out here and read, baby. Read. All right. All right. I'm going to get on out of here. I love you guys. Please don't forget to comment. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And then comment and like this video. Guys, share the heck out of this video. I want this video to really get out there. Because I really feel it's very strong. It's very serious for light workers to understand what we need to do. People just in general, right? To reach out to our ancestors. I'm going to be moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And so y'all come on with me. All right. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love each and every one of you. Namaste.